Welcome to The Row Show in South Africa.
It brings people together, it breaks down barriers.
Winning to be the best. Being the best is something we strive for.
There's crucial role in South Africa.
Compassion,
Great passion, fiction,
gold,
ultimate goal.
glory, relentless training, pain. Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to our third edition of our Olympic preview episodes. We've done the pairs, we've done the fours, and we've done all the doubles with the lightweights. And today we get to the first of the blue ribbon events, the men's single and women's single. It's going to be awesome. So excited. The research was flipping cool to do. There's so many interesting athletes to chat about. But first, as always, it's myself, Lawrence Brittain, and Jake. Yes. Welcome in person. On video. Cheers.
Now we can show to the world what really been happening just on the audio and what's been happening behind the scenes. This is how we get through this podcast. Joking, not joking. But anyway, where are we going to start today? So we have the single sculls, blue ribbon event.
And if things have gone well, this will be our second episode.
Second ever on video.
So
please like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. That's what they always say.
Oh, is that the YouTube?
That's what the YouTube people say is like and subscribe.
Welcome. This is our beautiful studio.
These are Lawrence's medals that you've won. Where's your Olympic?
Yeah, I should hang it up there.
Oh, you see, we're missing out on free marketing. You've lost a subscriber not having your Olympic medal right there.
Okay, well, next one.
Yeah.
Next one, I'll put it up. Then, Jake, the singles.
Okay.
Absolutely cracking events for the Paris Olympic Games. It's less than a week away. It's going to be absolutely humdinging racing from the beginning. I think from those heats, there's going to be some spicy racing.
It's also the only event that has extensive progression racing. Usually, obviously, the single sculls have the most progression racing, but it's the only event that's going to have quarters, reps, heats, semifinals, all the way up.
But before we get in, I think we'll start with the women's single. It's going to be an awesome event. I want to say that it's a bit more predictable, but
way more predictable.
But that is.
It is what it, yeah, I mean, like
it's a very gray area.
How can you not say that? How can you not say that?
But let's go into, before we get into the current performances and athletes racing, let's look a bit at the world records, which don't make any sense to me.
World record. Okay, we're going to get into it. So we've established that the women's single scull is actually the hardest record, the fastest record. By country mile, actually.
It's actually an impossible record.
It's an impossible record. Lawrence predicts that it'll never be broken ever.
I do not predict that. I do not predict that, but I do not have a lot of faith in this record.
Faith from what kind of point of view here?
Either there was some shenanigans with the stopwatch,
or
there was some other shenanigans
physiologically wise.
Yes, there's something not correct around this medal. The record is set to 2002, Seville, Spain, by Bulgarian Romyana Nekova at a 7:07.71. Okay, just keep that in mind. 7:07. If you take Karsten's performances out, well, I mean, she has the next 5 fastest times. Katerina Karsten from Belarus. Absolutely incredible performances from her. The next best performance is again at the second place at 2002 Seville at a 7:12. And then you get to the next person, Magdalena Lobnik, at 7:13. In the single scull set in 2017. So Emma Trigg also has a fast time up there, 7:13.97, so just under 7:14 at the Olympics in Tokyo. And like Emma is a legend in the sport, able to race, has so many results. And her best performance ever at a regatta where multiple world records were set and she is 7 seconds off the world record.
Yeah, it is quite. It's sus, and it's obviously it's a difficult conversation to have, and I see we're picking up this episode with controversy.
Yeah,
straight out the gun, straight out the gun. But I'm sure we're not the only people that have thought it, and I actually didn't think about it that much until I was doing research for this episode. And
there is no proof. It's not like
there's no proof.
It's not like
there's no proof. But
we're saying this, but I mean, I just think it's very suspicious.
It's super suspicious
that every other boat class has racing, and even the ones that we talk about, the pair where the Kiwis are 5 seconds quicker than anyone else or 4 seconds quicker than anyone else. But there's like other races that come close, and I mean, I suppose Karsten's, she has 5 races where she rose 7-11 3 times, 4 times, and 7-12.
So,
but still, that's still 4 seconds from the world record.
Still 4 seconds from the record. So even if you're counting Ekaterina Karsten, it's still 4 seconds from the record. But if I'm going to count the person on this list that I'm pretty sure 100% is clean and a legitimate time, I'm going to say Magdalene Lobnik with a 7:13, which is, what is that, 6.5 seconds off the record. That's the next fastest time that we are 100% sure that is legit.
Wow.
Well, 99.99 recurring percent sure that it's legit.
Yeah, after watching the Tour de France this year, I don't feel I have confidence in many athletes at the moment.
And to the listeners out there and to the people watching, obviously we're casting shade here on the Bulgarian sculler Rumnaya Nikova, and we're calling into question a little bit about Ekaterina Karsten, who is a legend of the sport. So I would be interested to hear from you guys what you think about what we've just said. But I do think the 707 in the women's single scull it's a bit sus.
But no proof.
No proof. We're just going off, just looking at the data.
So if we look at it, it is the hardest world record to come close to. No one has been within a country mile of it for 22 years. So
yeah, not even close. I mean, Caroline Florian, who's been an absolute sensation in the women's single scull, her fastest time is 7:14. And think about how dominant she's been. She's come into,
but there haven't been chances for world records this Olympic cycle.
Yes,
we've had one world record go this Olympic cycle. So I'm just saying you can't really claim. The last time that there were world records that went was like in a big way, like at a fast regatta, was Tokyo.
Yeah, that's true.
Tokyo had a bunch of world records go.
But even in Tokyo, Emma Twigg rode a 7:13.
7:14, basically, 9:7.
So and also like put Emma Twigg into the conversation of the legacy of the women's single sculls.
No, absolutely.
Kim Brennan is not even in this conversation.
I don't know why she's not on this list.
Well, it just goes to show how fast this time is. Hey, it's crazy.
Very spicy.
It's crazy.
Okay. Enough of that, though.
Controversy aside, we are tossing controversy for the rest of the episode. Nothing I will say from this point on will be controversial.
Jake, I think you've had, how many beers have you had already?
This is the first one.
I'm very worried. Okay, so the women's single, for me, it's been an incredible event this cycle. One of my favorite to watch. Caroline Florian has been an absolute machine, an elite athlete.
Elite. For
the cycle. I mean, really.
The champion of champions.
To come into the single and do what she's done. Unbeaten cycle.
Unbeaten cycle.
Just, I mean, it's
one of the few left that I can say that. Yeah. One of the very few left that can say that.
What did we say? Caroline Florian, the British.
Yeah, but even the British,
double,
if we're being super technical, the British lightweight double lost the race to the Europeans, even though there wasn't the.
Yeah, it's not their combination.
It's not their combination, but Caroline hasn't lost.
Yes, and then the British 8 with one loss as well.
With one loss.
So
but still, it's what's crazy about Caroline? She's come into an event with. She raced the 4 before she came into the single scull, and there wasn't any indication that she was going to be as fast as she would. And she's literally taken the world by storm.
It's quite cool, though, because this cycle, I feel like, has been highlighted by these young up and coming women single scullers.
And the fact that she's come in and been such a dominant athlete in a field that's got Emma Twigg, who's one of
but Emma Twigg hasn't. This hasn't been like. It's not like middle of her career where she's coming in guns blazing from the beginning. I'm saying she's built into the season.
Yeah.
No, I still think she's like a big favorite to take if anyone's going to beat Carolyn this
It's Emma.
season. For me, it's at the games. It's Emma, and I really hope that she's had a brilliant build up into the games. But I'm just saying it's not like she's raced every single thing that she can this cycle. She's built in slowly, and we're going to see where she lands, where her dice land next week.
So the question I'm going to ask you is, can Emma beat Caroline?
Yeah, it is possible.
It's possible.
It is possible.
How likely do you think that's going to happen? Not likely.
Low.
So do you think it's a case where Emma needs to have the performance of her life? Or do you think it's a case where Caroline needs to make a mistake or something needs to go wrong?
I think that it's possible that Emma can beat Caroline on her good day.
On her good day.
Yeah.
Because that changes.
I don't think Caroline needs to have like a disaster for her to lose.
Yeah.
Emma is a phenomenal athlete. I mean, we already discussed this. She rode 7:13.
And that's Caroline hasn't gone faster than that yet.
Yes. And I mean, absolute machine, and also understands the game. And she's been rowing the single for so many years. She has a lot of silver medals. She has her gold from Tokyo. It's like she understands what needs to happen for her to win this regatta. Has she got it all right? Has she got all the puzzle pieces in place to let those stars align for the Paris Games? I think that's what it comes down to between Emma and Caroline. I think Caroline is in a much stronger position.
Much stronger.
Like if you had to choose one person to be going into the games.
Yeah, and it's also she's raced a lot over the last few years, which is, she's got the most racing experience out of any sculler out there, and she's given people plenty of opportunities to try to get close to her.
And a big theme actually that is coming through over all of our Olympic previews. A lot of the time, the Olympic champions are not the favorites going into the games.
Yeah, but I mean, in this case.
No, she's not the favorite though.
Caroline.
Emma Twigg.
No, she's not the favorite.
I'm saying the Olympic champion from Tokyo, in a lot of our events that we've been discussing, they are there, but they're not the favorites. Think of the men's pair with the Sinkoviches.
Is there any favorites still in the game?
Think of the French for the
French
double.
Are not there.
No, I'm talking about in the
I'm saying, are there any Olympic champions from Tokyo that still are?
The eights are spicy. The Canadian women's 8 is definitely not the favorite.
They're not the favorites.
Going in.
New Zealand 8
New Zealand's not there.
The GB4 is maybe. Oh no, GB4 weren't Olympic champions. Australians definitely not the favorites.
In the single, not the favorite. So
it's spicy. So Emma might be the only Olympic champion from Tokyo that can possibly defend her title.
You don't think Tuskos can win?
No. No, I'm joking. I don't want to. Let me just put out there. I don't
think the French can take a gold. I'm pretty sure you said in the last episode that you think the French could win.
I hate having these strong opinions because it makes me feel bad when we're off camera. But no, I do think Tuskos can win. However, he's got a very steep mountain to climb.
You're missing my point was that there are a lot of Olympic champions.
Yes, no, your point's made. Yes, 100%.
Favorites going into this.
It is something
regatta.
to notice across the board. Why do you think that is, though?
Because the sport is brutal and the racing is absolutely cutthroat. And every day, if you take one rest, some youngster's going to come and snatch your position away from you.
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
And Caroline actually so for the listeners out there, Caroline did race in Tokyo. She was in the women's 4 and they finished second to Australia in the women's 4, and she moved from the women's 4 into the single sculls. She's now going to race there. But Lawrence, let's talk about the other elephant. Well, let me not say that. Let's talk about the other massive sculler in this equation.
Tara Rigney. Also, I mean, I definitely think this is the podium that we're discussing.
100%.
Emma,
There's only
Tara.
Yeah, Caroline. It's very similar. So, like, there are two events that have got this like trio of clear outliers. Lightweight men's doubles also similar with Switzerland, Ireland, and
Italy.
Italy. Here you have Australia, New Zealand, and the Netherlands. There is no other sculler that's produced speeds, produced performances that these three scullers have put out.
And so for me, Tara is, I would say, coming in as the third favorite, favorite for that bronze medal. But she has consistently got better and better. Every time she's come out and raced, her performance is a little bit improved, a little bit closer to the people, the athletes ahead of her. So definitely a positive trend. One World Cup 3, second at Lucerne. So
yeah,
I do think that she has it's between them. If any of them have a bad day, they're not making.
I don't know. I think Tara might
others
be.
will take them.
It just seemed like she's taken another step forward this year. I think she and Emma are on the same level at the moment.
For me, she's going to be, and without a doubt, she's young. She will be a massive athlete going into the LA Olympic Games.
Massive.
I almost feel like she needs another season or so. But I mean, as I said, these are the favorites.
By far the favorites.
And if you don't come with your A game, the other two will take it from you quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I think how do you think the progression is going to impact them at the Olympics? I don't think they're going to struggle until they get to the final.
Not these three. I mean, maybe Emma hasn't. I don't know what kind of state her physiology and stuff is at. Did she lose a bit more? She's had the biggest break between Tokyo and Paris. So maybe, but I don't think so. These are all professional athletes.
They're going to have to
go and race, and those heats shouldn't be that difficult.
No, the heats will be. It's like one of those cases where the heats,
and it's unlikely that they are drawn on the same.
No, they won't be
in the heats.
They're going to be seeded. The only time they will race each other is in the semifinal. Yeah. And I think the only time they're going to have any sort of racing is in the semifinal.
So one semifinal will be spicy because
one semifinal is going to be spicy.
It'll have two of them in at least, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be only the final that we're going to see an actual performance from the three of them. I don't think they need to pull anything out the bag.
So if you had to call it, are you calling Caroline, Emma?
No, I'm going to call it Caroline, Tara, and then Emma bronze.
Sure. I thought you said no more spice. There's no more shade.
That's not spicy though. That's not a spicy call.
You're saying the Olympic champion is going to be third place. It's quite spicy.
Yes, it is spicy, but in the context of form, based off form, I think it's going to be those three.
Moving on. Men's single.
We're not going to have a look at any of the others out there. Nothing. From a medal perspective. I think maybe there are a few more.
Alexander Foster,
something to watch
Germany.
out. Magdalena Lobnig, who's bronze medalist from Tokyo. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name.
Up there.
I thought you said
this one.
Oh, no. I don't know.
Definitely possible.
But
we said enough shade this regatta.
We don't get any more controversial.
Oh, no, definitely give a shout out to Paige Badenhorst.
Oh, yeah, of course. Paige Badenhorst from South Africa.
Yeah. So she's come in. They try to qualify the double, just missed out. Absolutely brutal at late qualifications. And then they had an absolute humdinger selection battle back at home. There was three of them, all kind of with a decent shot of making it to the Olympics. And they had, I think, 2 or 3 days of racing where winner took all. Paige,
it's
showed
brutal.
Her class.
But Paige has showed her class. She's been fantastic these last couple of years, and I can't believe how Paige, much she's grown.
She raced as an under 23 when I was part of the team. Then she went across to the States. Where did she study?
She went to Michigan.
She
rode there.
Then went across to Cambridge and raced with Grace Pendergast.
Easy victory. And
took the win.
And Imogen Grant too.
And then
she's made her way to South Africa.
Made her way back to South Africa. Tried hard to qualify.
Didn't make it, but she's gonna keep going to
single.
She was gonna keep going to Tokyo, so it's not gonna be her only Olympics. And massive shout out to Paige representing South Africa, flying the flag high there. And then I think some other shout-outs have spoken about Magdalena Lobnik, bronze medal at the Tokyo Olympics. And then also the sort of Russian athlete that got the silver medal, Anna Prakitsin, is now racing for Uzbekistan as Anna Prakitsin. Lawrence, why do you look so confused?
Dude, I'm not confused. Kills me, dude.
Why does it kill you?
No, we're done with this conversation.
We're done with the
for
controversy.
today.
But yes, and there's also, Cara Cola from the USA. But guys, when we talk about the conversation of the Olympics, it's
And Janssen.
what?
We missed talking about Aurelia Maxima.
Oh yes, Aurelia Maxima, Katarina Janssen. But she's
young.
She's young.
She's
I
too
don't
young.
know.
The Macon blades.
The Macon blades and the Swift and the high footboard and she's got. I think she's definitely.
I want to see her in the A final though.
How old is she?
She has a very good chance
she's like
of making
20,
the A
21
final.
years old. Yeah, she's 21, born in 2003. Outrageous.
That is a proper athlete.
Imagine being 21 years old and you're racing at
the
the
Olympics
Olympic Games
have
in
a
single
good
scull.
shot of making A final.
I don't know about that, but she's.
Yeah, she does.
No, she does. She does. Let me stop casting shade. I'm in a very.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Jake.
I don't know what's going on here.
Jake, you woke up on the salty side of the bed today.
Yeah. Anyway,
I give you 2 sips of beer and you start losing your mind.
I know. Can you drink on YouTube?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Relax.
All right. Well, that's the women's single scull. Lawrence, have you given a podium prediction?
No, mine's
What I
Emma.
think it is. Emma.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Carolyn, Emma.
And do you think there's any chance that someone else might beat them in the medals, unless something goes horrifically wrong?
I think if there's a really big upset is Emma, Caroline,
or Tara, and that's the best chance. They're just too far ahead of the rest of the field.
Yeah. Then other side of the coin,
things a
single.
bit more spicy.
It's not that's not spicy. That is going to be amazing racing, but the men's single, I feel, is a little bit more up in the air.
Yeah, definitely so. Another dominant figure, though, in the men's single.
I want to talk about the history, but actually I want to go straight into, let's just chat about Ollie. He has had a phenomenal cycle. Disastrous Tokyo. Missed the A final. Really, really disappointing, I think, for him. Coming back to cycle, very focused, very practical, so German. His approach to everything and just technical, kind of his attention to detail seems to be really outrageous. But he's had brilliant performances, but also performances where he's been under pressure.
Not many performances. Well, there have been performances where he's been under pressure, but even those performances are good. He's only missed the podium once, I think, in the last couple of years.
Yeah, but he doesn't care about the podium. He only wants the gold medal.
He only wants the gold medal. He made it very clear.
Yeah.
But I honestly think we are looking at someone that is starting to enter the conversation of one of the greatest scullers of all time.
Well, I think
starting to enter the conversation.
For sure, because look, you've got the competition is high because you've got these athletes that have raced and performed for so many years. I mean, if you look at Drysdale's performances and history in that single, it's mind-blowing. And even other athletes that didn't necessarily get the results that Drysdale have got, they're just consistently there all the time.
Sometimes, I don't know why, but I think there's this thing with Ollie that we need to find a chink in his armor to bring him down.
He's so perfect
because he's so good.
He literally looked at a rowing boat and was like, oh, okay.
You just brought up my Drysdale. Now think about
how many times he lost.
How many times he didn't win a regatta. Granted, he showed up on the Olympics.
Yes, but he's 3-time Olympic champion.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying Ollie doesn't. He's still young. He's still if he rose the same age as Mahi, he's still around until we.
So you think he can still do 3 Olympic golds?
I still think so. Depending I think he will win gold this Olympics, and he's definitely got enough time left to cement his legacy. I've already said that I think he can break the record.
Olaf, 2 Olympic golds.
I definitely think he can beat that. But still, like, I don't want to go too far because I feel like I'm starting to disrespect the legacy of some of the greats that have come before him.
Even Cynic.
But I would just say that he has the potential of being in that group.
So then let's
scullers.
go into the history though, because okay, so you got Drysdale, who has not the second fastest time of all time, but he has the second world record. So you got Robbie Manson with the current world record, 6:30.74. Possibly one of the
Outrageous.
greatest single performances of
In history.
all time.
In history.
And even on our esteemed Roadshow Awards, Robbie Manson won Race of the Year that year. So that's how good.
No, that's serious.
Held
We're
up.
talking serious stuff here.
It's held up. I think they would still win.
I don't know what gives you more legitimacy than that.
And then the previous world record was 6:33. So Robbie took 2.5 seconds off that world record, held by Murray Drysdale, set in 2009. And not many world records set 2009. We spoke about this the other day where you have like these big regattas that have all these world records. Nothing amazing.
But you know why? You know why it's like that? Because the single scull needs different conditions to the bigger boats to go fast. Because you can't the messy tailwind that you can set a record in a 4 or an 8. You can't set a record in a scull. It's just too messy.
Yeah.
So you need even more. I feel like you need even more specific conditions to be able to break a record in a scull.
I like that. Other very fast people on the list: Marcel Hacker, 6:33; Alan Campbell from the British team, 2009, also with against Mahi, 6:34; Andre Cynic, 6:35. Mahi Drysdale held the previous record, so 2 ago. So he broke his own record in 2009 that he set in 2006 with a 6:35. And Marcel Hacker also another fast time at a 6:35. And that's not even mentioning, legends like Olaf Tufte and
You're still near getting that chat. Yeah. So Ollie's fastest time so far is 6:36.
The single is such a cool event though, because it's got these absolute
units,
legends, and just incredible. I mean, think of, just try and name a couple like Fournier Rodriguez, Angal, absolute machine, dude. The guy was like a robot coming down the track, just 100%. Dominating. And just, I mean, there's
some of the easily most recognizable names in our sport are from the men's single scull.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
And just a lot of history, a lot of like community in that single event. So no, very, very cool. And Ollie, as you say, he's definitely joining that chat.
He's definitely in that chat. And like I keep saying that, I don't know why, but I think it's maybe because he entered the sport so young and he became so good. Sometimes we talk about his inexperience, his struggles in rough water. No, he doesn't have an experience. He's the most experienced sculler out there. He's raced every opportunity basically this whole cycle to get there. I
think when we talk about the experience though, it's not so much like, he doesn't have, it's more like he just wasn't rowing in his formative years.
No.
That's what we're talking about.
That is what we're talking about. Yeah.
There's things that like, and I think it's a positive and a negative, because there's things that I learned at school that just kind of ingrained in, you got time, you're not under pressure to learn them. It's like kind of general boat feel things,
and
how to row in rough water. You don't have
to learn them on the highest stage.
Exactly.
Under all that pressure.
But also you grain in some shit habits, and
terrible habits,
and terrible rowing technique that takes years and years to try and get over.
Skip that step,
whereas he doesn't have that. So it's a kind of double, two-sided coin there. But
he's definitely got some competition here. I mean,
huge competition.
He's 3-time world champion, so I don't want to. He's by far, for me, in my mind, he is the clear favorite. But he does have some massive competition, and it's super close. And one very recent arrival to this, which I did not expect, is Simon van Dorp from the Netherlands.
So he's the clear favorite, but he's not the Olympic champion.
He's not the Olympic champion.
You have the Olympic champion here, but you have another 2, 3, 4 other athletes that can all easily take it on their day.
Easily take it on their day. I don't know about that, but they can take it.
Listen, if Ollie has his best race, no one is touching him.
No one.
It's that is clear. Like, I feel if Emma and Caroline both have their best races, it's going to be a good race. Whereas anyone races against Ollie on his best day, they're not coming close.
Yeah.
But that being said,
Yeah, it's a
there's
it's a
a
single
lot
skull.
of
There's a lot of
athletes,
things that can
and
happen.
getting your best day is damn hard.
Yeah. So Ollie's a big name. Simon Verdorp's a big name, and Ollie and Simon have got a very clear sort of rivalry going, not just on the water but on the ergo too.
Do you think Simon? He must be seeded second.
Simon, yeah, he's definitely seeded second. He's second at World Champs last year, and he's second at he won Lucerne. Actually, maybe Simon's the top seed. Do you think Simon could be the top seed going to Olympics? No, surely not. He will be second seed definitely. But anyway, they've raced each other 3 times. Ollie's come out on top twice at the World Champs last year in the first World Cup, I think. And Simon has come out on top at Lucerne in a super close race. Whereas I think in the first World Cup this year, Ollie won by quite a big margin. Also, absolute machines on the RP3. They've both taking turns to break each other records. I mean, it's a, what have we got here? Ollie's a 6:20. I did write it down somewhere.
5:27.
5:27.
Van Dorp is a 5:27. And Ollie
is a no.
It's 5:25.
Yeah, Ollie's 5:25 and Dorp 5:27. But that was, you don't know. That was Simon pulled a 5:27 back in 2020. So who knows what his time is now? Could be fast. I feel like
dude, I don't understand what is happening. These single scullers, they enormous. I would hate. Like, I can't go anywhere near them.
I have a lot of respect for Damian Martin. He's flipping.
So going on, because I think he's the dark horse.
Who are we talking about? Damian now? Yeah,
I want to go on to him because he's this massive dark horse in the singles. So, I mean, I would say, Rio Olympics, really good. Just gradually progressing, and then.
And every time I watch that race. Every time I watch,
you know what I'm saying? That whole cycle.
Yeah. He wasn't but he peaked at the right time.
Yes. Then we can go on to the race, but I mean,
I just want to say, every time I watch that race in real time, it looks like he won. But there's something about the line. Anyway,
it's only a television line.
It's only a
guide.
It's only a guide.
Then the next cycle, lots of injury, not performing particularly well throughout the cycle. And then coming with the guns at the end.
Snake Eyes rolls the dice.
Finishing
3rd. And also now we're talking about rivalries. We said that Simon and Ollie have this rivalry happening. They've got a lot going that sort of puts them in the same WhatsApp chat. Damian Martin as another competitor that it's probably a little bit more one-sided rivalry, but it's got some serious beef to settle, and that's Sverre Nielsen. So for the listeners out there, Sverre was in 3rd place with 500 meters to go, and Damian Martin managed to overtake a 2-second margin to finish on the podium. So Sverre came 4th at the Tokyo Olympics, and now he's definitely got a score to settle with Sverre going into these Olympics.
So,
but yes, Damian
has had a better, if you looked at this cycle compared to last cycle, this one is better.
Yes, it is.
He's been a little bit more consistent. He's started to produce the results a little bit earlier. And
especially this last World Cup, he did, he came 2nd, or where did he come? I think he came 2nd. He just beat Sverre Nielsen. No, he came 3rd. He just beat Sverre Nielsen again to the
and he has outrageous Olympic
BMT, the best.
I mean, he has a medal at London Olympics in the quad with the Sinkoviches. I mean, a rough silver medal at 2016.
Rough silver.
Bronze in Tokyo. 4th Olympics coming up.
If anyone, the thing is with Damian, if he was any other person, I would say he doesn't have a shot. However, knowing him and knowing what he's capable of, and also when we did speak to him, he did talk about he does struggle a lot with his injuries, and that he can only sort of maintain full capacity training for a season, 2 seasons. So he said that it's tough to go a whole cycle and stay at the level that he said he needs to be at to be able to compete. So for mortals, he'll probably still kick everyone's ass, but to compete with the best in the world, I think the timing, that's why he's so good at the timing thing, is because he knows what his body can do and when to come online. So yeah, I've got a lot of, I'm expecting, not expecting a lot, but nothing will surprise me from Damian at this Olympics.
So, I mean, the depth then going on from this down the field for me is quite outrageous in the single. Like the making the A final at this games is a massive achievement. Massive.
Huge.
You get into the A final at the Paris Olympics, you have beat
I'm
some
surprised
big
Grasconis
dogs.
is not here just to throw things into turmoil.
And Tufta's not making it.
Yeah. Why not?
But you've
Put him
got
in there.
so just to add, so now you've already spoken Ollie, Van Dorp, Martin. Then we've got Sverre Nielsen, which you just mentioned. Stefanos Natuskos,
Olympic
champion, ready to roll his dice. And Thomas McIntosh from New Zealand.
What is up with these Kiwis and their scullers?
Yeah.
They're just coming thick and fast.
So
And the Dutch too.
Yeah. No, we have incredible racing coming up. And I feel like any of these athletes can be on the podium on their day. And a lot of them can take the win if they take it right.
I think if you're going off form, I think Tom is probably the most likely. I think Tom's got an extremely good shot of finishing on the podium at this Olympics. I can't believe his ability in the skull coming from.
But who's he going to knock off? Damier? Maybe?
No. He can knock off everyone. I think he can knock off everyone.
Except Ollie and Simon.
No, I still think he can beat Simon. I honestly do think so. Think about it. He's had...
Yeah, and
think
I
about
agree
it.
with
Think
you.
about it.
This is what I'm saying, though, is that this event is one of my favorite events going into this Olympic Games. It's so tight.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that can perform.
I just think Tom hasn't raced that much, but I think he's probably going to be improving every single race he gets.
But New Zealanders also have a lot of culture in their team that's bang on. They have a lot of ability to bring that BMT for the race.
Make no mistake that Tom has got all the guidance and the sort of
there's so much history and stuff in the Kiwi team that I feel like they know what they need to do. There's not like learning about how to win.
Imagine having Mahi drives down your corner, giving you advice.
Give you a little phone call.
Sending
you a little WhatsApp before the A final.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So lots of support. Tom's a big thing. Sverre we've spoken about, who's took a year off for 2022.
Okay. Go. Predictions right now.
Right now. Gold, Ollie, silver.
This is hard. I'm
trying to think here. Again, I'm trying to think with my heart.
Look, I want Ollie to win.
I'm going off my heart.
I really want Ollie to win.
Going off my heart?
If Ollie doesn't win, I want Damier to win. Like that would be, if Damier got a gold medal, for me it would be incredible. Like that would be worth Ollie not getting it, but I would like Ollie to win the medal. So if I had to choose, it would be like Ollie, Damier, I don't know, just Scots would be cool.
No,
but if I had to be realistic, Ollie is untouchable if he comes on his day, but I don't know. Is he gonna show up? Is he gonna have an issue?
100% he's gonna show up. If you're being realistic, you take Ollie anytime.
Ollie,
any
Simon, Damier.
I think if you're being realistic, you're going Ollie, Simon, Tom.
Cool.
But I'm not. I cancel that. That's not.
Is someone writing these down?
No. I don't want to take that as a prediction because I only want to. I want to say what I want from my heart. Yeah, we're speaking from the heart. We're getting real here on the Row Show. Ollie, Tom McIntosh, Damier Martin.
No Simon.
No.
On the podium.
No.
Ciao. Okay, guys. On that bombshell, it's time to end.
Time to end off there. Why don't we have a quick...
let's have a quick look at who else is...
Let's have a quick look about the names that we... So we did prep the guys that we want to talk about from like medling point of view. But, to have a look down the list and maybe give a shout out to some other rows. Ryuta Arakawa from Japan, who's been representing Japanese sculling in a massive way. And, he's actually come a long way the last couple of years. Definitely someone that I could see making it into the A final on his day. So maybe he's someone else that we should have had a conversation about.
What about the Olympic Federation?
Japan?
No, the old, our Rusky friends.
Who? I don't know.
Yohiri
But
that
I
LT?
don't even know if that's Russian or
Is that not the guy who
he
didn't
could be
they come
Belarusian.
in? No, but didn't he come race in Lucerne? Came like fourth or
He
fifth.
came third.
Hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, so we have Ryuta Arakara, Christian Vasilev, who's done really good things for Bulgaria. Keep an eye out for him. But besides that, I think that's about a wrap. We've spoken about the big guns. Can Stefanos defend his Olympic title? It's going to look really hard for him.
It does look very odd.
It does look really hard. But he also lost Olympics. He came out of nowhere. So
yeah, came out of nowhere.
He's
massive BMT.
He's in a better spot this Olympics than he was last Olympics when he won.
Yeah.
So
I do think the weather, I know we always say this, and he can perform when it's a bit rough. Like we have seen him race well in the
Europeans. He won
stuff.
silver this year at Europeans in the really rough weather.
But I do think if he's gonna have a big chance of winning the gold, he needs it to be a little bit rough, and he needs it to be a little bit fast. Then I think he has a very good chance of at least being on the podium.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And he did last year at World Champs. He just finished fourth, just behind Tom McIntosh. He's finished second.
Also, he's got Gianni Pastiglione whispering in
wisdom. He's finished second at every Europeans so far. I know the Europeans is not World Champs or
he's got
Olympics.
like a very unique racing style, which I think suits. I do think it suits a fast race, but it suits that single scull. And like what you were saying earlier, is like the singles at that difficult boat to row. If it starts getting too quick, too blustery, people struggle to hold the kind of technique together. But like if we think back to when Robbie won set the record,
just about to say,
I feel like Tuskos races like that race.
Yes,
that's
does.
his style.
He
can put that race together, which is super dangerous.
I was just about to say, I feel like he's like carrying on the spirit of Robbie Manson in the skull. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
Does it make sense?
But it's funny though.
It is funny.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's a wrap. So, we've given our thoughts on the strong contenders for the Olympic medals in the single sculls. It's just the sculls this time around. We thought we'd give them their own special category, the scullers, how the scullers are. But keep your eye out. We got one more episode coming up, Lawrence.
Perfect.
For quads and eights.
Awesome. Guys, thanks so much. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on YouTube, that's fantastic. Otherwise, find us wherever you get your podcasts. Come support us on our Patreon. We got some awesome banter and awesome info and deep dives happening there, especially during the Olympic Games. We've got a meetup in Paris.
Lawrence is going to be taking
with
that.
Our Patreon supporters. So if you're in there, come and join. And it's going to be flipping cool to put a face to a lot of the names and just talk rowing for a day. And it's going to be in the middle of all this epic
Olympic
racing.
madness.
So it's going to be flipping cool. So guys and ladies, thank you for listening. We're out.
Cheers.
Ciao.